asked my friend to split cabin costs since his girlfriend's joining us, but he's furious with me. My friend, male 47, and I, female 43, booked to go to an island we've both been keen to go to. We booked a 2-bed cabin, and because of the popularity of the place, we had to book and pay 10 months in advance. We split the cost 50-50. I'm seeing what the issue here is already. If you know, put an ICU in the comments. By the way, this comes from local honeydew on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So 2 months before we were due to go, he meets someone and they commence dating. The holiday comes up, and understandably, she was a bit uncomfortable with him coming with me. I was given an ultimatum: either she comes or the entire holiday is called off. I didn't say yes immediately because I needed to check with the accommodation, as the island has a limited number of guests allowed, and I needed the okay from them first. My hesitation wasn't taken well. They thought I wasn't keen. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. I understand to an extent saying, oh, I want my partner to come with because, you know, she doesn't necessarily want me going on a solo trip with this other another woman, but you can't just expect that change to happen immediately, especially when, you know, with Airbnbs, sometimes there's a limit to how many people you can have. And if this is, you know, a specific accommodation that only allows certain people, a certain amount of people, it's pretty rude that they're just expecting OP to immediately say yes. I got back to them within 24 hours and said I'd gotten the all clear for his girlfriend to also come, and she could book plane tickets for her. A week later, he informed me she had the tickets, and I asked him if we could discuss rebalancing the accommodation costs now that there were 3 of us coming, as it should now be a 3-way split. Can we do a poll? Would you guys do a 3-way split or keep the 50-50? Should they, you know, if they're the girlfriend and him are sharing the same room? So do 50-50 or 3-way split. Addie. I was surprised that he responded with anger. As far as he was concerned, the accommodation was paid for, and it was wrong and greedy of me to expect from his girlfriend. He told me that he was paying for the entire holiday for his girlfriend, so it was still going to be just him and me paying. So it was unfair of me to not pay for half. I told him that there's 3 adults, 3 people, 3-way split.
Yep, I totally agree.
Agreed. If he chose to pay for his girlfriend's third, that was his choice and nothing to do with me. And there is more to this story.
Oh.
But John is back.
Here I am.
So let's catch him up.
Hello.
Basically, OP was supposed to go on this trip with one of her best friends, or her close friends.
Yeah.
And they were going to split accommodations 50-50, and I think everything on this trip 50-50.
Right.
But then this guy gets a girlfriend, and the girlfriend's like, I don't want you going on a trip alone with this female friend. And so she gives an ultimatum: either you take me or we cancel the trip. And so OP says, yeah, I'll check with the accommodations, which makes them mad, and agrees to the girlfriend coming. And now he's saying we're going to keep the 50-50 split. And OP is saying, I want to do a 3-way split.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? That's all we know.
Sophia, one of my biggest pet peeves, there's the great unvenmoed money sent incidences.
It's not good.
Of 2018.
Yeah.
With me. It's some people on the show. I've heard it many times.
We've heard it.
I do not like this at all.
Yeah.
Look, if everyone going is like cool with it, great. Why not? But yeah, generally I feel like if you're going to go and like get the benefit of everything, at least offer.
I think I would always offer to pay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think that even though you are splitting a room, I think when there's more people in an accommodation, it just
makes it all there won't be any potential begrudgment going into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, for example, like I've been on a couple trips where, you know, certain people get their own room and I have to share with like 5 people, and we all split.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just
wait, one person gets a room and then you have to share with 5 people in a room?
No. Like for example, it was beds. It was like a couple was there, and they had their own room, and then there was like 4 bunk beds, and so we each got one bed. Actually, I think I shared a bed with
you had to share a bunk bed?
I had to share a bunk bed.
Sophia, do we need to revisit this case? And,
I mean, it wasn't a great trip, but But anyway,
Yeah.
there were other problems.
There's other problems at hand here.
No, but I mean, we split it all the costs equally.
You at least
which
split the
I
cost
think,
equally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He told me his girlfriend was going to buy me a cocktail to say thank you for the accommodation. But if I was going to insist on a split, then I could forget it and buy my own damn cocktails. As he couldn't believe I was being so selfish.
The cocktail
That's
makes
so
me
funny.
even more like I would almost rather you just like
Not even pay,
not pay. And like, oh hey, here's a cocktail. I'm like,
Get your cocktail out of my goddamn face.
get it out of
That's
here.
so funny that he's saying it as if she's, losing something massive. He's like,
Yeah.
well, I thought because you were going to be gracious, we were going to get you a little cocktail, but now you're all selfish. No cocktail for you.
Oh no, my mojito is gone. What will I ever do?
The thing is, a cocktail is $15, and I was currently covering half of her accommodation costs, $600.
Boom. Boom.
Boo.
Stop it.
I don't think I was the a-hole asking her/them to cover her share of the accommodation. I haven't even met her yet, but they thought I should cover her costs because it was already paid for. Am I the a-hole for insisting she pay for her component of the cost? And there is an update.
Just send them the money. Okay, they've already paid for it. Great. Just
Venmo.
send them the money that will turn it into a three-way split.
I literally just send the $600. I just think it's weird because he's saying, oh, well, I'm paying for her whole trip. No, you're not. You're just paying for your trip and making OP pay for hers.
Yes. Sophia, this is insane thing. Are you ready for this?
No.
It's called a calculator.
I've never heard of such a thing.
I know it's insane. Just like stay with me for a second.
I don't know.
You can use this alleged calculator to figure out how they can split the money around so it could be a three-way split. It is a possibility. You can do it, Sophia.
Okay. Update. There is an update, though.
Here we go.
Thank you, everyone. Interesting to see various lines of thought. It seems there's a split. Also, wait, we had a poll. What was the poll?
Oh, yes.
I didn't see what the answer to that poll was.
There we go.
It seems that we have 100%.
100%.
100% of people say three-way split, which we agree with.
If someone asked, do it. Come on now. Yeah. Easy. Do it anyways, but.
Thank you, everyone. Interesting to see various lines of thought. It seems there's a split between people that think everyone pays equally no matter what, those that think a couple sharing a bedroom are treated as one person cost-wise, and those that think the cost should be split, taking into account the shared areas, 1/3 per bedroom, 1/3 shared spaces. With this in mind and everything else going on, I called the accommodation, discussed options, then called my friend. I explained to him that we'd made the agreement to split everything equally when there was only 2 of us going, but I no longer felt that agreement was fair. I suggested the third option, splitting the cost of the communal areas 3 ways, but set cost per bedroom, and also stated that any food/activities, etc. wouldn't be split anymore. Oh, wait! That's even more interesting because it means, I'm going to read that again. I suggested the third option, splitting the cost of the communal areas 3 ways, but set cost per bedroom, and also stated that any food, activities, etc. wouldn't be split anymore. We'd each be responsible for our own, and they could decide as a couple how they were paying for themselves, which also implies that OP was paying for food and other activities for the girlfriend.
Maybe or maybe that they were like 50-50 splitting
50,
it before.
50. No, that's what I'm saying. Paying half of those.
So she's getting food, activities, everything.
Which is a completely different argument than just, are we splitting it 3-way? Are we splitting housing 3-way or 50? Because now it's like you're literally paying specifically for her.
Yeah.
Not just for the room.
And also she was saying like, oh, we split it up by the is she almost like a square footage kind of a situation?
Which is funny because that is something that you do for like rent, when you're renting a place.
Renting makes total sense.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever done it for
trip.
Airbnb.
Like for a trip, this seems like we're just getting so deep in the weeds. I'm like, guys, let's just split it 3 ways.
No, that is why I think that just splitting it equally is the easiest thing to do.
It just gets it's like not even worth it at that point.
Just split it 3 ways.
Just split it.
It didn't go well at all. He didn't see why he should be out of pocket because I decided to go against our agreement that I'm paying 50% of everything. Again, this is an agreement that they made before you added someone to the trip. Kind of strong-armed someone to the trip.
Totally, actually.
Said either we don't go or my partner comes. I stuck to it and said that I'd be willing to negotiate the accommodation costs, but there was no way I was going to pay half for his girlfriend's activities or her dinners and drinks. That's ridiculous. That's even more ridiculous than just the housing.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous for him to think I should be paying half of his girlfriend's costs, especially since she's a complete stranger and he'd already asked me to change all of our previous plans to suit her. He called me a B word and told me I was acting crazy, which is when you end the friendship.
Dude.
I think
Are you kidding me?
I think that if you're especially a male friend ever calls you the B word in anything that is not jest, I think that's like very strongly considering ending that friendship.
I totally agree. Yeah. And it's like this guy, you've had this friendship with OP. Yeah. You're getting into this new relationship. The new relationship sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to take my glasses off for it. It was so terrible.
So I didn't even want to look at it.
I didn't even want to look at it.
Oh.
And you're like, I don't know, like it seems like a classic case of like changing for the person in the relationship.
Yes, it is. It's prioritizing this new relationship over your friendship. And I think there is, to a certain extent, something to making your partner feel comfortable and stuff.
Totally.
Especially, they're going on a solo trip with a female friend.
Yeah.
But also you should be able to trust your partner. You shouldn't be sacrificing this friendship. I personally, if my partner went on a solo trip with a longtime friend that he had before me, I wouldn't be like, I need to be on that trip.
But Sophia, you're a secure person in a secure relationship.
Yeah, it's totally different.
What? What?
They've never heard of that before.
What is this?
Well, I didn't know you could even have that in a relationship. Huh?
Beats me. Doesn't everyone just cheat on you?
What?
That's what the girlfriend thinks.
Yeah. I stopped him and said that from that, I don't think this holiday is going to work. And I had spoken to the accommodation and I was going to cancel as of today. I told him if he still wanted to go, then the accommodation would hold open the booking for him for 72 hours. And if he confirmed with them, I'd instructed them to hold on to $1,800 as what he'd contributed to the booking and refund. Oh, and as that was what he contributed, and refund me the rest as his girlfriend and him would have to pay the hotel to finalize. Okay, so basically saying she was going to cancel, but if he still wanted to get the accommodation, he could. She wouldn't completely take that away from him.
Totally fair.
Very nice of her, not completely taking that option away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If they didn't confirm, I'd get the refund for the whole amount and then forward him his share. Yeah, I forwarded him the 50%. Yeah. He went quiet, then told me that since I was changing the rules at the last minute, I should leave the entire accommodation payment because it wasn't his fault that I no longer wanted to go, leaving them in the lurch, and I would be ruining his holiday with his girlfriend. So now he's like, since you're changing the plans and you're not coming, you should still pay 50%.
And also he's like, because now you're ruining the holiday with me and my girlfriend. This was literally a trip for you and OP.
Yeah, this wasn't your holiday with your girlfriend.
What are we talking about?
Like, you actually owe me emotional damages now. I told him I was canceling and I would definitely not be paying for any accommodation I wouldn't be using.
Good.
I might have been a little petty when I told him he'd still be paying for his girlfriend's costs. It'll just be a little bit more than he was expecting because I was no longer going to subsidize them. I canceled my flights and the accommodation and emailed him all the details. And there are some relevant comments, but before we get into them, John, do you have any thoughts, any advice for OP? Did they do anything wrong here?
I mean, not only did they do nothing wrong, I feel like they did everything right. And
I agree.
Hey, look, I'm going to cancel it, but I'll forward you over the details so that way you can continue it.
Go on this if you want to.
And that's it. And then you end the friendship because clearly this person has changed.
Called you the B word.
Yes.
Is prioritizing their girlfriend over you.
Like insanity. Absolute insanity. But you know what's not insanity?
These donations.
These donations from MJ Grow. Thanks for the $5. Move over, Miss Rachel. Make way for Queen Sophia. Her Royal Highness. And then another $5 donation from MJ Grow. She needs to ask, why do I need to pay for you to get your pee-pee wet? A great question.
Literally. Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Also, I just had a funny thought from MJ Gro's comment. What if Opie's like, you know what? I am going to pay, we are going to do the 50-50 split. They're my girlfriend now.
They're my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, I'll pay
now.
for the vacation. It's my girlfriend now.
As long as she's also, I get 50% of time with her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you
Sorry,
just have
buddy.
to deal with that.
Yep.
But there are some relevant comments, so let's get into them.
Ooh.
Jules Me 10 says, wow, I am so sorry. They both are immature. I bet you she is young, offering a cocktail and then taking it back. She is young or broke or cheap, not someone you want to go on a nice trip with. I would say, since there are so many requests by her, this has become a trip more about her and therefore needs to be split 3 ways. How is it fair she gets to kick me out of the cabin? Sadly, you may lose a friend over this. He is obviously siding with his 2-minute jealous girlfriend over a long-term friend. OP says she's 51, so the oldest. I don't know her at all, never met her, so can't say whether she's cheap or broke. And Tippy Tappy Slappy says, who is this guy to you? How did you meet him? How long have you known him? I cannot fathom someone expecting this from someone else. It sounds like an oblivious, self-centered sibling taking advantage of a family bond type of entitlement. This can't have been the first time he has done something this inconsiderate. OP says, I'd known him for 5 years as a friend. Yes, I'd had some issues with him for lack of empathy regarding others and some general selfishness. He was a mid-40s guy that basically never had a long-term girlfriend. I just sort of went with the too used to doing his own thing to pay much attention to it. We have traveled together before, together and in larger groups. I have issues in the past with his lack of planning, leaving a lot up to me, but his entire personality seemed to change overnight when he started seeing this new girlfriend. Nothing was good enough. Before he'd at least discuss things, talk options, this time was like hitting a brick wall. His way or no way, decided this was what was going to happen without talking to me, and then got angry when I wanted to discuss it first. And a last comment from OP says, I haven't kept in contact with them for obvious reasons, but through some mutual type of friends, I found out the following. They planned to go, but tried to find cheaper accommodation on the island, so let the hold expire without making any contact with the accommodation, which, does that mean, are they going to get the refund there?
So from my understanding, so OP had already gotten her refund, but it's like, here's the like accommodation details, so you could book it if you do it in time or something along those lines, and they let that time expire. From
my understanding, everything was booked up completely that weekend and for the next 6 months. Ooh, they lost the option to use the cabin, and someone else immediately booked it when it became free. There's a wait list.
Aha.
I received back the full deposit and immediately transferred his portion to him as I stated I would. Never got an acknowledgement he received it, but it was an account I had paid into previously and my bank assured me it was good. But I want to assure you that you can join us every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Assured.
A mutual friend told me the ex-friend was pissed off as, against my advice, he had bought non-refundable, non-transferable plane tickets and refused to buy travel insurance, so he's out the cost of those fares about $3,200.
Dude, I mean,
should have just paid the extra $600, dude.
Also, like I don't know, just take the plane tickets and find some other accommodations.
Literally could have found anything else.
You're just gonna lose $3,200.
Well, the thing is that OP said that she has to plan most of the things, so it seems like he's just a really poor planner.
Dude, I mean, that is like Olympic level.
Olympic level poor planning.
Bad planning.
Yeah, $3,200 is crazy.
Yeah.
And that because I pulled out, his holiday with his girlfriend was totally ruined. Once again, this was supposed to be his holiday with OP, not his girlfriend. And I owed him an apology and the cost of the fares. Not going to happen. Myself, I booked a holiday back at the island where I am in a single apartment by myself and plan to have an awesome time. Good for you, OP. Leave these stupid people behind.
Get out of here.
But that is the end of that story.